Hello, Standard 10. Your Arun sir going to teach botany. Today we will start the botany part and the chapter is absorption by roots. Before that, I will like to discuss two words and those two words are anatomy and one is physiology. These two are the branch of biology. Anatomy is the scientific study of the body structure or the relationship between the structure and its relationship between the body part, that is the anatomy. Scientific study of the body structure. And physiology, second part, see physiology, that is the study of the function of the body part. Study of the function of the body part as a whole, that is the physiology. Means we have to discuss a study of the function of the body part or scientific study of all the chemistry and physics of the structure of the body and the ways in which they work together to support the function of life. So here we are going to discuss about physiology. I am not going to discuss about the physiology of human body. We are, we are going to discuss about the plant physiology. Now physiology same thing. Study of the, and function of the body parts. Plant physiology here we have to discuss, not related to human or not related to animal. It is also a branch of botany. Plant physiology is a branch of botany which deals with the life function and metabolism of the plant. Life function and metabolism of the plant. This deals with plant physiology. And the first chapter related to plant physiology is the absorption by roots. Dear children, if we are studying biology or botany, we are familiar with the word root. It is vegetative part of the plant. Root, stem and leaf are the vegetative part. Flower, fruit and seed are the reproductive part. So, root is the vegetative part of the plant. And if we will see the diagram of a seed, cotyledonous seed, two cotyledonous seed or dicotyledonous seed, when it germinates, something comes out from upper part and some comes out from the lower part. It is the plumule and lower part is the radicle. Now, the part of the plant which comes out from the radicle of the seed, embryo, is geopositive, photonegative, geopositive. The part of the plant which comes out from the plumule is geopositive, means grows towards the earth. Geopositive is the root, is called as root. So what is root? We have already discussed. Now here we have to discuss the functions of the root. What are the functions of the root? To keep the plant in a straight condition or to fix the plant, or first part function is to fix the plant. Otherwise plant will fall. To fix the plant. Second work, absorption. Absorption of what? Water and minerals which are soluble in water, those minerals are absorbed. So absorption of water and minerals and fixing the plant so that it can remain straight is the function of the root. So here we are going to discuss one of the function of the root, and that is absorption of water and mineral. This part we are going to discuss. Now a question arises, okay, with that part we have understood that what is the function of the root, and root absorbs water and minerals. Now, why they absorb water, what is the need of water, and what is the need of mineral, let us discuss. All living being, the living part inside the cell is the protoplasm, and maximum part of the protoplasm is made up of water. So to build up protoplasm, water is necessary. Photosynthesis, without water, photosynthesis is not possible. Transpiration means removing excess water, extra water in the form of water vapor from the aerial part of the plant, that is the transpiration. Transportation, we have got blood in our body and nutrients are transported from one place to another place by the help of blood. But in plants, blood is not there. Water is there, and that water only transports the necessary things from one part of the plant body to another part. Next is mechanical stiffness. Stiffness, tight. How the body part, plant body part will remain tight due to presence of water. If less amount of water is there in the body part, it will not remain stiff, it will not remain tight. So dear children, for these things plant need water, and that part is clear that plant need water, and what are the uses of water we have discussed. Next thing we have discussed that water is absorbed and minerals are absorbed. What are the minerals? In which form they are absorbed? Why they do need? Some nutrient are absorbed as salts. Either minerals are absorbed as salts or they are absorbed as salts and they are absorbed, others are absorbed as ions. Now, let us discuss, that part is clear, that minerals which are dissolved in water, minerals remain dissolved in water, are absorbed in the form of salts or in the form of ions. Which salt? Sodium chloride? No. The salts are nitrate, phosphate, sulfate. Nitrates, phosphates, sulfates. In these form, the salts are absorbed by the root. Keep one thing in mind, that these salts remain dissolved in water, and with water only these salts reaches the plant part. Next, minerals are either absorbed as salts or as ions. Ions you are knowing. In chemistry you must have read about the ion, and they are absorbed as potassium ion, calcium ion, okay, or sodium ion, or sulfate ion, chlorine ion, chloride ion. So, function of root other than fixing the plant is the absorption, and roots absorb water and mineral. Water, why it absorbs, we have discussed, for photosynthesis, for protoplasm, for mechanical stiffness, for transportation, for transpiration. and other part absorb is the mineral either in the form of salt or in the form of ions. Now a question arises, why these minerals are required to build up cell organelle as well as synthesis of various types of enzymes. Enzymes means biocatalyst. These minerals are required. So that part is clear. Now, what are the characteristic of root for absorption of water? Why don't the other part, stem or leaf or other part of the plant can absorb water? Why only roots absorb water? What is there in the root that it can easily absorb water? Let us discuss. Three things are there. Huge surface area. Next, point number one, huge surface area. The surface area of the root is huge, large, means more. Second thing, that it contains a solution which is higher concentration. Cell sap concentration is higher. Cell sap's concentration is higher. We will discuss each and every point, don't worry. And root hairs have thin wall. Root hairs have thin walls. We will discuss each and every point. Means these three characteristics are there. Three characteristics which helps in absorption of water by the root. Three characteristics which helps in absorption of water by roots. First one, that is the huge surface area. Have you ever seen the root? Have you uprooted a small plant? Yes, must. Let us discuss the first point. There are two types of root, taproot and fibrous root. You must have read taproot has got a main root, that is the primary root. Through primary root, secondary roots comes out. Through the secondary root, tertiary roots comes out, and in tertiary root, root hairs are there. This is taproot. And if you will see fibrous root, no main root, no primary root, no secondary root, no tertiary root. Only fibers are there, and the size of the fibers are almost equal. No main root is present, and it is the fibrous root. In monocots like grass, fibrous roots are present. But let us see, I am talking about huge surface area. Think of that a simple grass, I am talking about a simple grass. If you will connect each and every fibers of the root, it will become very long. And same is the case in the taproot. Take out each and every root hairs. If we will connect to each other, it will become very long. Means its surface area is so large that from far part it can absorb water from the soil. So that part is clear, that the roots have got the huge surface area which helps in absorption of water. It is the first characteristic of the root. how it absorbs water. Second part, coming to the root here. Okay, let us discuss about the cell sap and the concentration of the cell sap. Concentration means strength. Okay, let us discuss one diagram, then we will be able to see here. This is the root here. One of the root here in detail I have shown. Now, here nucleus is there. Vacuoles are very large. This is, and here nucleus. And this part is the vacuole. And dear children, you must have read that plant vacuoles are larger. Yes, this root here also contain a large nucleus, a large vacuole, and one liquid is there inside the vacuole, and that liquid is the cell sap. The watery part, the fluid part which is present inside the vacuole is the cell sap. And in cell chapter you must have read that outer covering of the vacuole is the tonoplast. And why the plant vacuoles are larger, we have already discussed these questions. Now, in vacuole, cell sap is present. This liquid is the cell sap, and the concentration of the cell sap is higher. Let me make you understand about the concentration. Suppose you have taken 2 glass and equal amount of water. In both the glass, equal amount of water is there. Here you have added 5 spoons of sugar. And here 1 spoon. In this glass you have added 5 spoons of sugar, and here only 1 spoon of sugar. The strength of the solution in this A will be more comparing to B. It means the concentration of the solution present in A is more higher comparing to the solution present in B. I am talking about the concentration of the solution which is present inside the vacuole, means concentration of cell sap is higher comparing to the other cell parts. Why? Because certain salts are dissolved in that cell sap. Certain salts are dissolved in that cell sap, and due to this only the concentration is higher. So this is the second characteristic, that it absorbs, characteristic that the root absorbs water. Third point, root hairs have thin wall. You know that outer covering of the plant cell is the cell wall, and cell wall is freely permeable. Anything can go out, anything can come inside. And next is the plasma membrane or cell membrane. And plasma membranes are selective permeable or semi-permeable. Selective permeable it means allows something to enter and do not allows other thing to enter. Maybe that it may allow the water to enter or salts will not be permitted to enter. So dear children, this plasma membrane is selective permeable membrane and cell wall is freely permeable membrane, and it is very thin. Very thin means it can help in the absorption of water. So these things are clear. Now absorption and conduction of water and mineral. What are the phenomenon? What are the phenomenon by which this water is absorbed? Let us discuss. There are 5 phenomena which helps in the absorption of water. 5 main phenomenon. 5 main phenomenon which helps in the absorption of water. What are those 5 main phenomenon? First is the imbibition. Imbibition. Second thing, osmosis or diffusion. Diffusion. Third, osmosis. Fourth is the active transport. Active transport. And fifth and the last which we have to discuss is the turgidity and flaccidity. Turgidity and flaccidity. Dear children, these are the 5 main phenomena by which the water is absorbed by the roots. So let us discuss each and every phenomenon in detail. The first one, see, imbibition. Let us discuss about the imbibition. Have you heard about hydrophilic substance? Okay, not heard. Let me discuss what are hydrophilic substance. Hydrophilic substance. What are hydrophilic substance? The substances which are made up of cellulose or protein. The substances which are made up of cellulose or protein. The substances which are made up of cellulose and protein are called as hydrophilic substance. Hydro means what? Hydro means what? Water. And philic, affinity. Those substance has got great affinity towards the water. Great affinity. Attraction. Affinity. Those substance which has got great affinity towards water are called hydrophilic substance. And hydrophilic substance are made up of cellulose and protein and this plasma membrane, cell wall, plasma membrane is made up of lipoprotein, lipids and proteins, and cell membrane is made up of lipoprotein and cell wall is made up of cellulose, a complex compound. a complex carbohydrate, that is the cellulose, and it is present only in the cell wall of plant cell. So the plant cell wall is made up of cellulose and plasma membrane is made up of protein, and they are the hydrophilic substance got great affinity towards water, and due to this affinity only they absorb water. Haven't you seen? If you will put a seed in water, the seed will swell. How the seed will swell? It will absorb water. Resin, kismis, if you will put in water, it will swell. Now, not only this, in rainy season, the wooden doors become jammed. They turn, their shape changes because wood, they are made up of, wooden doors are made up of wood. I am not talking about the door made up of fibers or plastic or iron. I am talking about wooden doors. Wooden doors are made up of what? Wood. And wood contain cellulose and protein, means they are the hydrophilic substance. So in rainy season they absorb moisture, they swell and they bend, they become jammed. Maybe asked in your examination, give reason question that during monsoon season the wooden door swells up, turns up, and the reason is that they are made up of hydrophilic substance, means cellulose or proteins, and they have got great affinity towards water, so they absorb water. So we were discussing about imbibition. It is a phenomenon by which the living or dead plant cell, keep these things, keywords in mind, living or dead plant cell. Wood is dead plant cell. Dead plant cells. Imbibition is a phenomenon by which living or dead plant cell absorbs water by surface attraction. One word is there, surface attraction. Surface attraction means what? The water should come in contact with the surface. Surface attraction. So imbibition is a phenomenon by which living or dead plant cell attracts water by surface attraction, and this phenomenon is known as imbibition, and this is the first phenomenon which helps in the absorption of water by the roots. Dear children, as I have discussed that wooden door, wood, that is the dead plant cell, must be a plant cell, whether living or dead doesn't matter, and by surface attraction, the surface should come in contact. If you will put plastic over the surface, suppose this is made up of wood and plastic you have put here, then the wood will not come in contact with the moisture. The surface should come in contact with the moisture or water, then only it will absorb water by the phenomenon, by the process imbibition, because the living plant cells or dead plant cell, they are made up of cellulose and protein, which are the hydrophilic substances. So dear children, and this swelling up of seed, why it swells, understood. If it will swell, then only the seed coat will rupture and the germination will take place. So importance of imbibition we will discuss later on. Today up to this much, and I am sure you must have enjoyed the session. Thank you.